You're listening to The Breakfast Show with Conor Andrews on 87.7 FCOT.
Hi, I'm Conor Andrews, a third-year degree student here at Farnborough College of Technology. I'm the presenter of The Breakfast Show here on FCOT FM, and recently I had a day all dedicated to a day of silence. The day is set in place to raise awareness for bullying and support for LGBT students. And now I'm on a mission to find out what we're doing to support LGBT students throughout the college. I got to talk to multiple staff and students here at FCOT to find out what's really going on here and if we are doing enough to raise support for LGBT students for educational reasons and their lives. Nearly half of LGBT students are bullied for being LGBT in Britain's schools. 97% of LGBT students report regularly hearing homophobic language in college. 2 in 10 transgender students feel unsafe in their place of education, and LGBT students who have experienced homophobic or transphobic harassment are 2 to 3 times more likely to consider leaving their course. Colleges and universities have the duty to prevent and tackle bullying in educational places. That includes homophobic, transphobic and biphobic bullying. One of the most important aspects in achieving this is creating a safe place for LGBT students to attend. So I interviewed Katie Tutor, who runs the Pride group here at FCOT, to see what she's doing to raise support and awareness of LGBT students.
Started working for the college, there was a Gay Straight Alliance group set up, and that was run by our health advisor and our counsellors. And we were a bit concerned that as it was run by a health advisor and a counsellor, it would give the impression that to be LGBT is a health issue, a mental health issue, which obviously we don't think it is. So I was asked to take over from a student services role, and I took over and we had a look at the name, which we felt perhaps wasn't the most inclusive, the Gay Straight Alliance, and we decided to call it the Pride Group instead. We've tried to promote Pride through a number of different ways. What we really want to do is just make sure that it's very visible, which I think is really important just for pushing the message across that to be LGBT is okay, and that it's supported within the college. So we've had posters for LGBT History Month. We had a big board with Stonewall posters, we've done email campaigns, we've got information available on the website, and yeah, just really trying to put it out there that this group is available. Like I said earlier, I think it's really important for LGBT to be really visible in the college, for the support networks to be there and available so students know where they can go if they are coming across these issues, and for us to really just push the message that we are a college that supports LGBT, and any sort of bullying or anything that goes against that belief will not be tolerated.
It's hard to say whether or not the Pride group is succeeding in supporting LGBT students. Although it is a great start in raising awareness, there must be more we can do. Nowadays, social media seems to play a huge role in supporting and educating the LGBT community, with YouTube doing this in particular. Growing up, learning about what it means to be LGBT was all learnt through YouTube, with multiple high-profile social media celebrities coming out on YouTube, educating the LGBT community, and using social media as a safe place for LGBT viewers to feel accepted. How can this be done in a place of education? Figures show that nearly 80% of teachers have never received training on how to tackle homophobic bullying, but it is time for change. Over 1,000 schools, colleges and universities in the UK have put into place training to tackle homophobic, transphobic and biphobic bullying in schools. And so, I wanted to find out more. I interviewed Virginia Barrett, Principal of Farnborough College of Technology, to find out what she has to say on the matter.
So I think the first year I came in post, which was 16-17, I chaired the Equality and Diversity group. And one of the reports that came through regularly actually was the report on the Pride group. And the committee really started to take an interest into what they were saying. You know, we were having, for example, a new property strategy, and we were asking could they have dedicated toilets. So we started to talk about whether we could try and have neutral gender toilets. But then we felt actually a lot of what we were hearing we felt we needed to understand more. And if we're talking about being inclusive, then one of the things that I think one of the members said is, look, Stonewall, and I knew about Stonewall, is something that we should be looking to apply for Stonewall Championship. So we started that process, and as a result of that, we had SMT had training at the start of the year, so all of SMT were trained by Stonewall. It was very interesting training. So something that really attracted me, and I think the lady from Stonewall, when we met her, said, in the 60s and so on, people became champions, and they're ethnic champions. And so she talked about allies. And I genuinely like that idea of actually training staff to be ally. You do not need to be LGBT to be an ally. You just simply need to be someone who understands and want to understand more about the cause and to support. So the next exciting part of the journey with Stonewall is actually getting training for our staff who wish to be allies and to be recognized as allies of LGBT students and staff. So the answer is yes. Clearly, our policies make it very clear that we do not tolerate homophobic behaviour. So people can be excluded for those things. I tend to take the view, and I've done this in the past, like racism, like anything else, sexism, I tend to try and train people. So for me, it's more about raising that awareness. So some of those people can actually become champions. Education and training is what I'm talking about, but also the other thing is that sort of ensuring that there's greater representation of staff throughout all levels of our organisation here. And that for me is a real driver to ensure when I look back, a part of my legacy, what I'd like to look at is that I have a very inclusive SMT, a very inclusive middle management team, very inclusive teaching and support team. That means across the board, whatever your background, whatever your orientation, that we should have people fully represented across the organisation. That's a modern organisation as far as I'm concerned.
After speaking to staff at Farnborough College of Technology, I really wanted to see what the perspective of a student was like.
So
yeah, definitely do actually. There's some posters around. We've got like the community group, which is beneficial for us.
I just feel like, because obviously we're a community that a lot of people find it difficult to find like a safe place, and I think that FCOT definitely provides like that safe place for us.
I just think promote it more and make it more flamboyant, because after all,
flamboyant community,
and make it more big and prominent to just everyone.
Mm-hmm. I definitely there are a few posters around. I've definitely seen them, but again, like Josh said, I feel like if there's more promotion and like stuff on the radio, or like the club can come out and do things, But yeah, they can come out and do things, like have a stand out somewhere and hand things out and just promote it in a bigger way. Mm-hmm. And I think that would get everybody interested.
I think it's fair to say that Farnborough College of Technology is currently doing its best to support LGBT+ students through their times in education. However, this isn't to say that we're not doing enough. For me, being in education while being an LGBT+ student has always had its ups and downs. The fear of being outed, unaccepted, or bullied has always been something that scared me. But since coming out during my times in education, it's made me realise that the best thing we can do is talk. In the past, I have made a few documentaries tackling LGBT+ issues, from Generation Gender to Rainbow. I have always wanted to educate and express what it means to be within the LGBT+ community. Everyone has a right to feel valid, and if you're LGBT+ or have a friend or family member that is, just talk about it. Education should never be a place of fear. Most likely, your years in education are going to be the most important years when finding yourself, and you should never ever feel afraid to do so.